Hello, welcome to art class today. This is a picture here of my office corner, actually just to my right. And I have a little recliner, as you can see, and two windows in a corner with lots of plants. Um, I like drawing rooms because I'm often in a room, and sometimes it's fun to draw off of a picture and copy a picture, but I think there's a lot of benefits from trying to draw from life, trying to draw things that are in front of you. I know for me, it helped me progress very quickly in drawing, trying to draw every day something in front of me, which is often a room of the house. Sit in a comfy couch somewhere in your house, in your bedroom maybe, or in your living room, or even outside if the weather's nice. And to just try to draw what's in front of draw what's in front of you. It can be a little bit tricky. It can be really tricky. It can be one of the hardest things to draw. But the more you do it, it gets easier and easier. So my goal today is to kind of help give you some pointers on how to draw what's in front of us and where to start. And yeah, so you can follow along here and draw my little corner with my couch, or you can just kind of watch and try to draw what's in front of you instead, or what's behind you. Pick a comfortable seat, and for a second, just look around you. Don't look at the screen. Just look around you at the different walls in the room you're in, what furniture is in the room. Is it messy? Is it clean? Just look around. I spent the whole day organizing in here, and it's not quite done. But, yeah. It still has a lot to look at. Any room you're in has a lot to look at. So, once you've kind of chosen a direction, as I have here, then we can get started drawing. The first thing we want to kind of keep in mind, and you don't have to draw this, but maybe draw it very lightly with pencil, is my viewpoint, like where our eyes are, really matters when we're drawing. And it took me a while to kind of realize this, but I'll give you a little shortcut, and that's that wherever our eyes are, we can draw a straight line, either in our imagination or actually on the page. So in this picture, I can tell where my eyes are because that's where all the lines get straight. So what I mean is these lines are kind of going diagonal down. This line is going diagonal down. If I go down towards the bottom of the picture, this line is going diagonal up. And this line is going diagonal up to the left. Even this windowsill is at an angle. But what is actually on this horizontal is just maybe about here, huh? If you look at the blinds, here we go. Maybe if I look at the blinds, these are still going down slightly. I'm going to say maybe about here. Look at all that. All the lines are straight at our viewpoint. So we can use that knowledge to help us. Oops. So imagine a line going right from your eye level. So if you're 5 feet tall, about 5 feet up the wall around your whole room, imagine that. Imagine a line, imagine a pen line drawn around. Or many times if you're sitting, it's shorter than that. So my eye level right now, sitting, is probably about 4 feet. So I'm just imagining a line around my whole room at about 4 feet up the wall. That line would pass right in front of objects, too. Or another way to think about it is maybe if water filled the whole room up to our eye level. So in this picture, the water would fill about here. Well, everything above that eye level is going to point downwards towards it. Any flat line. So like the windowsills, the top of the wall where it meets the ceiling, the bottom where it meets the carpet. Anything horizontal like that, even these hanging pictures on the left, they will follow this rule, which is, well, anything above it is going to be pointing downwards, anything under it is going to be pointing upwards. So let's keep that in mind. And so I have my horizontal line, that's my eye level. And now I can just start finding the biggest shapes, just like any of my other drawing videos. Finding the biggest shapes is the most important thing. So I see at the top of this picture, there's an angle here like a Y, like this. See that? How the corner of the room and this hits a Y. So I'm going to attempt to draw that. So this, and then I know this is going to be pointing down, even though in real life these are very horizontal lines. This is where the ceiling meets the wall. But in my picture, they're going to be pointing down. And here I'm going to do this window now, where the top of the window's pointing downwards a little bit, but the bottom of the window is going to be slightly pointing upwards because it's under this water line. So same thing on the left. It looks like it's a little bit more extreme on the left of an angle. And let's just... Alright, so you can see I'm using pretty big, broad, sketchy lines. Just because that's how I like to measure, especially if I have a pencil or if I'm going to paint over it. I don't have to really focus on making it look too nice in this stage. If I was making something really presentable, I would maybe sketch it lightly like this with pencil and then go in with ink with really confident, thick strokes. But if I imagine this line here, horizon line, this second comic on the wall actually passes through it, so I can kind of use that to help me position these comics better. Alright. Looking to the left, I've got this picture hanging on the wall here. And the couch now, I can I'm using the shape of the wall against the couch. And, oh, maybe I should do this floor shape, actually. See this floor shape? Let's do that. So this line's going to be pointing up. And then there's a invisible line that's behind the couch, but I'll still draw it going down to the left, like that. Now I'll draw the couch in front of it. Because I have that line drawn in now, it makes it a little easier to gauge. I'm just looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the drawing and the picture here, or in your case, whatever's in front of you. Because it's a little bit easier, I would say, to draw from picture, but we don't want to make it easy. We want to make it fun and challenging and true to life. Because if you're in front of something, you can't draw it incorrectly, because that's what you see and that's what your skill level at drawing is going to present. It's very honest and enjoyable. I'm going to erase some of these inner lines that are fogging up my couch here. There we go. There we go, got the couch. Let's do a few lines for these blinds. Or actually, before I get into any detail, it's always good to do the big shapes. Gotta keep I have to remind myself. See, with this line here, and imagining this line in real life, you can know, like, oh, these curtains hit just at eye level, pretty much. So I can use that knowledge to measure out where they end here in the middle of the frame. This hanging plant over here is just above that eye level. There's that circle thing, and it goes like that. So I'm not skipping anything. You don't want to, or I mean, you can, I guess. But for practice sake, I think it's important to draw everything in front of you. Try to capture everything, even if it's really scribbly or isn't in the right proportion or whatever. Just try to get it represented in some way. Because the more things you do that you think will be hard, the more little solutions your mind will come up with how to make it doable for you. So I'm putting in these blinds now with some lines, blind lines, which actually kind of conveniently covers up my measuring line here, which I'm going to erase the edges. Alright, now I can draw a few of these little plants coming around. 1, 2, you can see how little care I'm giving, because this is a sketch, a measured sketch. That's all you need to do when you're practicing, at least this kind of thing. When I set out to practice something, I try to only practice that thing and not worry about the rest. So if I'm practicing drawing what's in front of me, I don't really need to get into the details and practice my color even. I can just stick with a pen, black and white, and practice that element of it. If I want to practice painting or if I want to work on my colors, color blending or whatever, maybe I would draw something a little bit easier so that I could spend most of the time working out colors and stuff. But if I'm doing this kind of drawing, I don't want to spend too much time on detail or picking the right color. Anyways, I'm going to draw this vacuum over here. Vacuum. And a couple little weights on the ground. And yeah, the next step you can do after you've gotten a quick sketch, like, I think this is a pretty good sketch. I think you're seeing not all of it. There we go. I think that's a pretty decent sketch. Now, the next little step, without getting into color, would be to sort of shade everything that's dark and leave the lightest stuff light. So if I look at my picture over here, what's the darkest thing? It's probably this wall. So I'm going to actually lightly, with my pencil or whatever I have, color the wall just a darker color. Just because when it's all white, it doesn't really give me the same impression as when I'm looking at it in real life, because it's actually dark in here. So also the couch I could probably give some color to. I don't have to do too much. Let's see. That's probably good. Okay, and then outside here is dark. So this picture's nighttime here. Yeah. And it's, again, a little bit messy. I can always go in with the eraser too and clean up these edges if I wanted to. Your eraser is your friend sometimes when you're sketching, especially if you're working out the tones like this. erasers will bring back white if you've accidentally penciled over it, which is I think sometimes I forgot about as like you can draw with it too. If you tone in, say, this area on the left where these pictures are, now I can kind of draw the picture onto the black area with an eraser, which is kind of cool. You can, yeah. And let's see. I think that's a pretty good sketch. I don't know that I need much more than that. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you want, you can turn around and do another sketch right now of your room and do another one of the other corner. I did a project once where I went to every room and I went and I turned and I drew that one, and then the next night I'd draw the other corner of the room, and I didn't make it through everything, but the whole house, but I made it through quite a few rooms, and it really helped my drawing, so maybe you can get something out of this too. All right, well, I'll see you next week. Happy drawing. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.